Thanks very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks to the organizers, and thank you for coming and showing up. And let's hope we can have a fruitful session, not a tick in the box in the process. We still have a few days ahead of us to try to focus our answers, our responses to the consultation, and let's hope today we can get some more clarity, right? If we get that clarity, then hopefully the final draft, the final RTS will have no gaps, will have no, unintended side effects. It will be more aligned with industry, and especially it will be more open to the future and to innovation. So I think in page 47, I think, of the RTS, there is this section called Options Considered. And of the 4 balances that are mentioned in that page, 3 are resolved with a principle-based approach. So the technical options for strong customer authentication, protection of personal security, credentials, and communication between players, all these are resolved happily with a principle-based approach, but the 4th one, or another one, the scope of exemptions, is resolved with a very prescriptive and very concrete list approach, right? The rationale for that reads that it was to sufficiently protect consumers, and in the absence of reliable criteria for the results of, say, RBA, this could possibly harm competition. So this was a kind of a big surprise for us in MasterCard, this kind of prescriptive approach. And so we have, in that framework, in that scope of the whole RTS, we focus our answer today, our intervention today. So 5 points of concern. One is, the first one would be about the independence of devices and which will not work in an environment of today and of the future, where you think about the Internet of Things, where you think about maybe a fridge, ordering a refill of something, many cases in the future. So we are hoping, and I think there are some openings there, that really segregation will be enough, but we think clarity about what segregation means in practice is very much wanted from the draft to the final version. This is one of our biggest concerns. Of course, one cannot imagine, say, mobile commerce with 2 mobiles in the simplest form, right? So this is an area where we hope there will be much clarity and simplification. The second one would be biometric authentication, which provides a good consumer experience, yes, which has different flavors and options, which is the future, which is a lot of innovation happening in that front. And I think the draft leaves some open questions on biometrics. How do you resolve the biometric? Must the bank resolve the biometric challenge, or can somebody else resolve the biometric challenge? Well, a lot of questions around the biometrics. Maybe later on we can go more in depth into those. So, third point of concern for us would be, emerging payments in the sense of, wallets, card on file. If we require strong customer authentication for each wallet transaction, each card on file transaction, we think it's far too strict. We believe that the right balance would be strong customer authentication for provisioning, so for, the initial, setup of that, but that not for every transaction. Same thing goes for virtual cards or one-use-only cards in different shapes and forms, where the generation of this kind of unique token or number would be subject to strong authentication, but not the subsequent transactions. In the 4th place, in this short list. We have more in our response, but this we just chose 5 here today. Some people need to go back home. So the fourth one would be the exemptions. For contactless and remote transactions, we very much think that they should be revised. First of all, there are some gaps in the sense, for example, tollways. Tollways are not considered today in, they're non-CVM transactions, right? They're absent really in the RTS. We believe there are some other gaps as well. The current technical specification for contactless does not allow the merchant to verify the cumulative limits. There is no really an established way by which the card would say, dear merchant, I have spent so far this amount of money, by the way, maybe in different currencies that I have kind of cumulative calculated into euros. Please let me know if I have to do a PIN. So there are some really technical feasibility concerns. So we hope this can be changed to more, say, to a project giving the same results can be done with the current way of doing in our world, in the card world. And in terms of question number 5, the exception for contactless low-value transactions, we believe should not be made mandatory for issuers. Finally, number 5 would be risk-based. So really, we believe that demanding strong customer authentication for every single transaction, except for the exceptions, is first of all in contrast with the EBA guidelines, will lead to increased level of friction and abandonment of transactions, which is not, I think, the intention of what we all want to do, and can slow down the development of e-commerce in Europe, and that we believe compromise the EC objective, the European Commission objective of promoting a digital single market. So we believe issuers should be allowed to bypass strong customer authentication for low-risk transactions, in essence. And the industry is working towards that. And for example, the new version of 3DS by EMV allows for risk-based authentication, and EMV, as you all know, is an interoperable, global, recognized standard. So that could be the foundation maybe for a solution. So with that, I end. Our vision in MasterCard is world beyond cash. I think this is fully in line with the PSD2, a world beyond cash. So we are fully aligned on that. Our mission, kind of our day-to-day thing, is that we want to make payments safe, simple, and smart. So I think from the draft RTS to the final RTS, we want to keep the safe, but we want to improve the smart and the simple. Thank you.
Thanks, Esteban.